You are born where maps fade into dust, a place of sun-bleached concrete, rusted roofs, and stray dogs that learn early not to trust human hands. No state, no law, only corners, crews, and hunger. Your mother sells cigarettes one by one from a plastic cup. Your father is a rumor that left before you could form memory. You grow up watching men with cheap pistols decide who eats and who disappears. You learn the first rule before you learn to read. Power belongs to whoever can enforce it. You start as nothing, not even muscle, too thin, too young, too invisible. So you become useful. You carry messages between corners because no one searches a child. You memorize faces, routes, schedules, who sells, who buys, who cheats, who fears. Information costs nothing to gather and everything to own. By 12, you know the neighborhood better than the men who claim it. You never touch drugs, you never touch guns, you touch leverage. You tell one crew where another hides product. You tell a dealer when police sweep. You tell a buyer which seller dilutes. You don't lie, not once. Truth makes you valuable. Truth makes you safe. They start calling you Ledger, because you remember everything. The first fracture in the world comes on a night of rain and sirens. Two local crews clash over a shipment that never arrives. Knives, screams. A boy you played cards with bleeds out against a dumpster because someone miscounted loyalty. By morning, both crews are broken. Territory empty. Supply chains cut. Chaos. Everyone scrambles to grab scraps. You don't. You see the whole. Power isn't product. Power is distribution. No one owns the routes. No one coordinates flow. They fight over corners while shipments rot at the edges. The city is a body with arteries severed. You decide to become circulation. You're 14 when you broker your first deal. You bring 3 small dealers into an abandoned laundromat. No guns allowed. You stand between them, hands empty, voice steady. You show them what each loses fighting and what each gains sharing routes. You map streets in chalk on cracked tile. You divide hours instead of blocks, rotation instead of turf. They laugh, then they listen, because you know their numbers, their losses, their debts, their fears. They agree to try 1 week. It works. No shootings, no shortages, more money. They come back. You never call it a gang. Not yet. You call it the network. You recruit couriers first. Kids, old men, women with grocery carts, people no one notices. You standardize packaging, timing, signals. You build redundancy. If one falls, another flows. You enforce only one law. No conflict inside the network. All disputes come to you. You settle with math, not bullets. Profit grows. So does reputation. Violence arrives anyway. A mid-tier crew leader named Salgado decides you're a parasite skimming from real men. He kidnaps one of your couriers and cuts off 2 fingers as a message, sends them in a matchbox. The room goes silent when you see it. This is the moment the network either becomes power or dissolves. You walk into Salgado's territory alone. No gun, no escort, only memory. You recite calmly every debt he owes, every cop he bribed, every shipment he lost gambling, every mistress he hides, every lieutenant who hates him. You list the numbers until his men shift uneasily. Then you place a ledger book on his table. Inside, proof, all of it. You tell him the network can erase his shortages and double his flow, or expose him and starve him. He reaches for a knife. Your hand moves first, not to a weapon, to his shoulder. Steady, human. You're bleeding money, you say. I stop that. Or you die slow. He joins that night. The fingers stop arriving. The network becomes unavoidable. You're 17 when you understand the second rule. Control supply, not streets. You leave the city. Borders mean nothing to you, only routes. You follow trucks into deserts, boats into mangroves, planes into forgotten airstrips. You meet growers, chemists, smugglers. You don't threaten, you optimize. Fair weights, predictable payment, protection through invisibility. You connect producers directly to your distribution web. Margins explode. For the first time, the city's drugs move under one system, yours. Others notice. Older cartels send envoys. Some offer partnership, some offer absorption, some offer death. You refuse all 3, because you've built something different. Not hierarchy, infrastructure. You don't rule corners, you route them, remove you, and the map collapses. No one man can replace a system they don't understand. They try anyway. Assassins come, bribes come, raids come. Each failure makes you myth. Ledger becomes architect. At 21, you formalize it. The network gets a name whispered first by enemies, then by allies. The continuum. Because product never stops moving, because supply never breaks, because you are everywhere flow exists. You introduce contracts, insurance pools for lost shipments, shared legal funds, training cells, encrypted comms, violence only as last resort, and when used, precise and terminal. Old gangs dissolve to join. Independent dealers beg entry. Even rivals begin rooting through you quietly. The continuum becomes the spine of the underworld. You change too. The boy who watched corners becomes the man who designs continents. You stop walking streets. You study logistics, finance, encryption, psychology. You learn languages of ports and banks and politics. You wear suits now, but you still remember every face. You still remember hunger. You never use drugs, never indulge product. Your vice is structure, expansion, control of flow across oceans. You aren't loud, you're inevitable. War finally comes. 3 legacy cartels unite to crush you before you eclipse them. They strike roots simultaneously, burn warehouses, kidnap managers, flood markets with cut product to poison your reputation. The continuum trembles. For the first time, circulation falters. Your lieutenants demand retaliation. Mass killings, open war. You refuse, because you know the third rule. The biggest power is reliability. You don't attack them, you outlast them. You compensate losses instantly from reserves. Replace routes within hours. Publicly reimburse every affected dealer double. Guarantee purity when theirs fails. Quietly buy out their suppliers during chaos. Offer sanctuary to their defectors' families. Month by month, their networks decay while yours holds. Their soldiers grow unpaid. Their clients drift. Their lieutenants defect. Then you cut coordinated seizures, financial freezes, select eliminations of irreconcilables. No spectacle, only silence and takeover. When it ends, no rivals remain, not because you destroyed them, because you absorbed everything that functioned and let the rest starve. The world calls you what you never called yourself, boss of the biggest cartel alive. But you know the truth. You didn't inherit a cartel. You built a circulatory system for an economy that already existed, and then you became its heart. Years later, you stand above a city that once ignored you. Containers move in ports under your algorithms. Money flows through shells you designed. Entire regions depend on continuum logistics to eat, legal and illegal alike. Governments deny you while negotiating through proxies. You touch the scar on your shoulder where Salgado's knife almost ended you. You remember the matchbox. You remember chalk maps on laundry tiles. You remember being nothing. Power still belongs to whoever can enforce it. But you changed what enforcement means. Not guns, not fear, not flags on corners. Flow, dependence, continuity. You grew with it. From invisible child to indispensable architecture, the cartel and the man became the same thing, a system no one can remove without collapsing everything around it.